Take my hand if you dare to stay. Feel the rush, take my breath away. If we fall, then we fall in flames. One more time, here we go again. Under the lights, we are transcending. Gravity pulls the rhythm like stars, we're never ending. We burn so bright, baby, the dawn is getting closer. Come here before it's over, we shine like supernovas. Under the lights, we are transcending. Gravity pulls the rhythm like stars, we're never ending. We burn so bright, baby, the dawn
Okay, that definitely took longer than I thought it was going to. All right, my bad. All right. Yes. PlayStation over Steam. Can't stand Steam. Cannot stand Steam. Any case. And I have to say, more people need to do it this way, to where you go to their website, you specifically give them money first, and then they give you a key to put on whatever platform you want to use. Because you'd have to think that buying it through their website gives them more refund, or not refund, sorry, that's not the right word, more revenue allocated to them versus buying it specifically from PSN, to where PSN takes whatever amount, or Steam takes whatever amount. If you get a key and then activate it, I'm sure there's an activation fee they have to pay, but I wouldn't assume it's the same thing as buying it specifically from the third-party storefront. And that's the issue. Don't get me wrong, I like PlayStation, right? But it is a third-party storefront, right? Anything that's not Sony game that comes out on PlayStation is a third party, a third party siphoning funds from the first party, which is why I'm so against Steam. Steam itself, I can't say that Steam is a bad idea, but the only main reason why I say it is a bad idea is because of this right here. Not necessarily this game, but the whole thing about the crew shutting down, right? What system was the crew on? Did you actually go to Ubisoft's main website, buy the game from them, download it on their launcher, and then play it on their server, and then they shut the game down? Or were you playing it on Steam or Epic or Xbox or PlayStation, running through PlayStation Network, running through Steam's backend, whatever you want to call it, and then they shut the server down? You didn't even buy it from you. They already lost that extra revenue, giving it some of it to Steam to help fix Steam's backend, instead of taking the money up front and working on their own backend, right? Like buying it from their website, and then that extra money can go towards building up a first-party backend instead of being forced to go through Steam every time. It gives them marketing data. It gives them responsibility over the server, so if anything does happen, they don't have to go send a certification into PlayStation or into Steam saying, hey, I need you to update this, the game's broken. No, they can just automatically do it because it's first party. This is why third party is a TOS violation. They don't have control over it, and anything you complain about, it's more of a CYA on them, so they don't get in trouble for you creating a possible security risk using a third-party program. Not so they can say, no, you're supposed to come through our resources only. No, it's so you can't yell at them when you go through a third party and your stuff breaks. They're not liable for it, right? Because it's like I said, it's a security risk to go through a third-party program. I mean, when it's a licensed third-party like PlayStation or some crap like that, or Steam, it's a little bit different. It's at least a known entity, a known company that you're relying on. It's not like you're just going to a third-party website that you don't know the credibility of that third-party website because you've never heard of it before. But yeah, I mean, it's not wise to buy shit from anything but the actual developers themselves. I don't know who made this game. Um, I don't know who makes this game. Oh, Owlcat. Like that's how you're supposed to do it. Because that technically tells me that's a third-party publisher that actually made a first-party storefront for once that is doing this right, because now all the money goes to them, at least for the beta. Now when it comes out, people will be buying it here or whatever, but that's when sales come into play. Come to the main website, and that's the only place you can ever get a sale. Not going to PlayStation. It's never going to go on sale on PlayStation. It's never going to go on sale on Steam. It's going to go on sale on the main website that you go to them and buy your key and then activate it somewhere else. Because I mean, the argument's going to be, well, then it's going to possibly stifle and kill the revenue for PlayStation and Steam. But Steam already has so many indie development games anyway. That's going to keep them up and running for God knows how long. Sony's going to have to start implementing it as well. You know, so they'd start putting more indie games on your platform, and start putting more. Valve's going to need to start using Valve games. They're not going to be taking money from all the AAA companies. They're actually going to have to make another Portal or Half-Life or whatever. Those are the only two games I know that they make, and I've never played any of them. So, like, Valve has been siphoning funding off of all the AAA publishers for 20 years or so. And that's why the cost of video games have gone to what they are. That's okay. It is a little bit conjectural, but if you look at how it's functioned, Steam became a thing in like 2003, right? Then Xbox Live immediately launched right after it. Microsoft competed with it immediately after it. It took Sony a little bit. They didn't come in until like 2006 with PlayStation 3 PSN, right? Because we're talking about Xbox at that point. Xbox Live came out, which competed with Steam for PC, and then like I said, PlayStation came out with theirs in like 2007, and Nintendo didn't even get on board until like 2015 or something like that. I can't remember the exact date, but their eShop is still Nintendo. It's anything outside of Nintendo, but everyone knows Nintendo has had an issue with third-party developers, or at least let me rephrase that. Third-party developers have had an issue with Nintendo forever. And, you know, Nintendo is holding their storefront the most properly. I mean, like I said, all the money that I spent on this game went straight to Owlcat Games Limited. They gave me a PlayStation key. I downloaded it over here. Makes the most sense possible, especially if you're doing a digital thing. If I'm doing a physical copy, that's a little bit different. But now we're talking about, you know, retailers and, you know, manufacturing and shipping. So, you know, you wonder, a physical game being more than $59.99 makes sense. A digital one, not so much. I mean, but then again, I'm also all for spending $100 on a game that gets 1 year support. You know, you spend $60 for the game, and you spend another $40 for the season pass for 1 year, right? So $100 for a game that is guaranteed to have 1 year of support on it when it goes live, right? That's respectable to me. I mean, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Video games are going up in cost. I'm like, not really. Mario Kart World is pretty accurate. You know, $80-$90 for a physical copy while it ships from Japan and into your front door, and it's a physical copy. Now, if it doesn't actually have the card in it that has the save data on it, you could argue that it's not worth that much. If it's a digital code, you can argue it's not worth that. It's a digital code. You don't have a physical backup copy. Because realistically, the digital code should be like $40 and the physical copy should be like $80 or something like that. It's I don't know. It's hard to say. The digital copy, like I just know that PC games used to be $40. Very rarely were they more expensive than that. When I started getting into the game, I think they went up to $49.99. Games are $49.99. And that was with a physical copy. But now the price has gone up, I can understand why it's $80. $60, $70, $80, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. But the digital cost should never go up like that. It should not jump up like that, because it's not tied to manufacturing and shipping. Now, you still have to worry about the cost of living adjusting the economical cost of it, which makes sense because people want to get paid more, which means we have to pay the publisher more money so they can pay their developers so they can continue to work instead of just, you know, 45% of the community is apparently deciding to quit for some strange reason. You know, has nothing to do with that, you know, that supposed 45% of developers that are leaving the industry because they realize they can go make their own development team and be more profitable releasing their game without corporate intervention on Steam. You know, like Hideo Kojima or whatever. Kojima, whatever his name is. I don't remember his first name. Hideo, I think. Kojima? Like Kojima. Capcom, want to give me an attitude? All right, I'll go make my own studio. I already have the cult following behind me. I don't need your help. I don't think the shit he produces is that godsend. It's okay. I think it's a bit abstract art storytelling for my taste, but it's not. They're not bad games. But like I said, this is the ideal way of releasing a game. The developer / publisher put it on their platform. You buy it straight from them, and then you activate the key on your third-party launcher that you want all of your games on. Because, like I said, that means if I ever want to play this game, I go to their website, download their launcher, and then I can play the game, not worrying about if PSN goes down. If their server goes down, I have to worry about it. But then again, I'll have to worry about it if I'm on PSN anyway. But now you cut out the third-party back end, so you don't have to worry about going into it. PSN taking a crap on you, or Steam taking a crap on you. You're sitting there playing. How many times are you sitting there playing Steam games and it says Steam has updated you and it kicks you offline? That wouldn't happen if you went to a first-party launcher like Origin for EA games or Blizzard games. If you went to, you know, when you're playing Overwatch or something, if you're on playing it from the Blizzard launcher, only time that you're ever gonna have a problem with the game is if Blizzard servers go down, not if Steam servers go down. Y'all are back ending the game out for a development team that's an indie development team, and that is not backed by a first party publisher. That makes complete sense. But for AAA companies like Capcom and Square Enix and, you know, Blizzard, all those people, there should be no reason that they are forced to use a third-party marketing ploy like Sony or like PSN, Xbox Live, Steam, Epic Games. They shouldn't. GOG. They should not be using any of that crap. Especially if they're on PC. I can go to your website, download a launcher, and then play it right there. I mean, I prefer dedicated launchers. I don't care if I have 30 million games on my home screen. I don't care. I can click on that one game, it'll launch that one game, and I don't have to ping to Steam to get that shit. Which means what? Now I don't have to worry about verifying my online licensing by pinging to Steam, so Steam can be like, do you own this game? Yeah, you own this game. Okay, now I can ping to their server. Because the key is saved in my computer offline with the downloaded launcher, standalone launcher. I'm assuming the standalone launcher will have that key already attached to that launcher that I downloaded. I see. The only other issue would be, how many times are you going to go over to your friend's house and download that shit onto their system? Well, that's as simple as you already have it set up to where it doesn't really matter, because only one active key can have that launch. Because I don't disagree with dual boxing, having multiple launchers up at one time, right? I don't disagree with it. But I also don't disagree with, I want to play Destiny on PlayStation. Well, I have to buy a PlayStation key so I can access it at the same time, right? If you want to have the launcher running, you know, it's kind of like if I log on to PSN with this account on a PlayStation 5, it'll kick me off. You already have that, so there's no that key is locked to only be running once. So if anybody logs on and uses that key to log on, it's going to kick you offline because it's already in the system saying this active key is online playing the game, right? Offline doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but not as much as where y'all have currently gone into, which is live service games, and I can't completely disagree with it, but you need to make an offline experience. So, like I said, this whole game sharing shit is, I've never agreed with it. My friends have done it, and I'm like, y'all are fucking stupid. You're the reason why movie costs and video game costs go up, because you're not buying the product yourself. You're bootlegging the shit, or or playing someone else's fucking copy. I mean, physical copy is a little bit different because you have to have that disc. But a digital copy, I just go to your house and download it on your PlayStation. Yeah, you wonder why there's an issue with how this community or how the publishers are dealing with your bootlegging workaround that you pass off as, you know, respectable behavior, and it's not. So, I mean, like I said, it's already there. It doesn't really matter. I just don't know how you're going to deal with that with offline gameplay. It would become that means that realistically the only way you would have to do two things. You would have to have you would have to probably have a registration code and a licensing code, meaning that in order to play it offline, you need a physical copy of the disc. Like, you have to have a physical copy of the disc. Like, you have to put that disc in your computer, and it has to read that disc for you to actually access that game offline. So it would be cross-referencing two codes. You would need two codes, and the disc code and the online access code would be two different things. And that might solve it. I don't know if there's any kinks in that system, but basically the physical copy would be the only way that you could access the game offline to prevent people from trying not to pay you for your product. I mean, like I said, I understand why Nintendo's doing what Nintendo's doing. They have every right to say fuck you. I'm sorry. But in any case, there's enough of that rant. Let's move on. Because I don't think there's anything else that can elaborate on that. I mean, because why are you buying it on Steam? Why can't I get why did you not let me have a registration code? Why didn't you let me have a registration code for Epic Games? I wanted to buy it on Epic Games. I wanted to put this shit on Epic Games because I know it's made with the Unreal Engine, which means if I give more money to Epic Games, that means the next update, Unreal Engine 6, is going to be way the fuck better because I just gave them more money for it. This is the shit I'm talking about. The PC master race that is distorting the whole fucking economics of the gaming industry and trying to think that they're excellent about something. Complete bigots, in my opinion. Sorry. Anyone that does not see that does not see that them buying into Steam is the main distortion with everything. I have to deal with Reddit being a thing, which is pulling the community off of the official forums and into a third-party forum. I have to deal with Discord being a thing, which is pulling communications out of the game into a third-party forum. Right? Especially when, you know, it even gets to the degree of now what happened now that they've actually added it in here. Now I have to deal with it. PlayStation and Xbox have put Discord on their fucking shit because because developers aren't willing to put in the extra funding and money to create an in-game proper community system that they're back-ending it on fucking Discord or Steam. And so what happens, I load up my computer and I try to get my controller to work when I'm playing a game on Steam, but I have a fucking Xbox overlay conflicting in the front ground because I have Windows installed, so unless I know how to go in there and turn that crap off properly, it's not easy plug and play. So yeah, I mean, the customizability of a PC is epic as crap, but I mean, I can buy a console, I can plug it in, and I don't have to worry about any of that crap. There's no conflicting third-party bullshit that is passed off as customizability, right? Something like that. So, I mean, I have to deal with communications going to Discord now. That's fine. They integrated it, so I can't really complain about it. It's integrated. I can talk to people on PC, though I still kind of question why people keep saying video games are dead when they're using a third-party workaround like Discord to actually communicate. So the game's not nearly as dead as you think it is. They're just no one's talking in the game anymore because the first-party developers are allowing a third-party TOS violation to go along unchecked because too many people are using it and they can't mitigate that nasty level of trespassing, or whatever you want to call it, man. It'd be no different than people illegally coming across the border. I mean, I don't care where that border is. It doesn't matter if I'm going into Canada. It doesn't matter if I'm going into Mexico or from those places into America. I mean, like that's what third party TOS violation is. That Discord is. I'm sorry, it is. It's complete TOS violation in my opinion. You remove the games out of the game, and now don't get me wrong, it is a good hub to go to and talk to people that aren't in the game. But still, the fact is if the system was built right, anytime I logged into this game, someone would have sent me a message and I would see that message, right? Beta, some features are still being refined and you may encounter technical issues. This build does not represent the final quality of the product. It's sad you have to put that disclaimer there because that makes no fucking sense. This is a beta. It's not even coming out for a year. And you have to say, this is not the final product because I paid you this much money for this. And you actually donate it early so they can help build a game while other people are waiting for someone else to say it's good before they give them money. I can't stand that crap. I cannot stand the fact that people are passing off risk-free investment as consumer rights. I cannot stand that crap. Y'all don't understand a damn thing about investing if you have that mentality. Well, they should if you have the mentality, they should produce AAA quality product before I give them money. Man. AAA companies do it. AAA companies are, or sorry, not AAA, but indie companies do it. Indie companies are also not, 300 plus people working under a publisher that has greenlit something with financial backing. No, these are 1 to 10 to possibly 30 people working on a game that just have gotten together. It's a classroom of people trying to create something that catches traction. So those corporate nasty AAA publishers see them so they can pick them up so they can actually do something with proper financial backing. Or, you have cases like, I don't know, Genshin Impact or I don't know if Genshin Impact is the same, but Helldivers 2 or anything else that's an indie company, like Stellar Blade or I had it and then lost it. What was it? Expedition 33, an unknown third-party indie developer that happens to produce Pal World type crap. They just happen to produce a hit and people take notice. And why do you think Sony picked up, what is it, Shift Up that did Stellar Blade? Right? It's the same crap. It's the same crap. Y'all act like they're not, the indie, the romanticizing indie developers is anything different than a third-party AAA publisher in the making, especially if it's not a Sony product and you're playing it on a PlayStation, or if it's not a Microsoft product and you're playing it on Xbox. In any case, we are listening closely to your feedback during a beta and using it to make the game better. Yeah, well, people complain about stuff and then they're going to go to X, or they're going to go to Reddit, or they're going to go to Discord and start bitching and complaining in Discord and Reddit and stuff instead of submitting it to your actual website of customer support or feedback. And if this game does not have a built-in button where I can click on it and send a report from my PlayStation, I'm gonna have an issue with you. I mean, I get it on my PlayStation, but website pop-ups still exist and are a thing on this portal. You can access the web, the portal or web or whatever the crap you want to call it by clicking on a button. But like I said, how many people actually do that? No, they'll go to X or they'll go to Steam, or they'll go to Metacritic or whatever the crap is called. I don't ever use it, so I don't know. And they'll review bomb the crap out of you. Like, going to a third-party information source is getting that information specifically to the developer. It eventually will reach them because you'll blow it out of proportion, and they'll be like, "Oh, what's going on here?" But realistically, you're not giving it to the actual developers. So, yeah, like I said, playtesting has never changed. Playtesting has never changed. It's inappropriate quality assurance, QAing, and you're full of shit. You are a biased bigot lying to yourself, because I know I'm one. I play the game and I look at it and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't mean it's what I tell you how to fix it is accurate, but me telling you that it doesn't seem right, that's accurate. Me telling you how to fix it, that's open to debate. But me telling you it doesn't seem right and it needs to be fixed, that shit ain't open up to debate, in my opinion. That's no different than QAers getting shafted when they have a development meeting or what the fuck ever, saying, hey, this shit's broken with the game. You need to fix it. Oh, no, that's not something that's super important to fix. You're full of shit, because if I say it's broken and I'm a small part of a part of the 10 people team, that means 10% of the community is going to see this shit's broken. I don't care what you say. Statistically average, that's what that's saying. You have a small focus group of people testing the quality of the experience, and you're going to tell them that a biased ass speedrunner game breaking play tester has a better idea of how to fix the game than somebody that does that shit for a fucking living. Like they have to go run into a wall to make sure they can't fall through it, not actually just play the game like you normally would and do your best to break it. No, I have to go back and look at the stupid shit, like running into this wall to make sure I don't fall through this wall, or me going over and talking to every single one of these NPCs, making sure there's not a typo error, or that when I talk to that NPC, it crashes the fucking game because that NPC didn't run properly when I triggered that event or some shit like that. I mean, yeah, no, you're not the people that actually go around and do the grueling work like that. You're not going to listen to them as much as you're going to listen to your biased playtesting community that gave you money, but they're working for you. You're paying them to make the game better, and you're not listening to them. And they probably bought that game or going to buy that game when it comes out if they're a QAer. I don't know. I still would. I wouldn't care, because at that point I'd be like, okay, I'm going to live stream this, guys. I don't care what you say. These are my opinions. Then you'd fired, right? As long as you don't disclose NDA shit. See, that's the problem I have. Nobody reads this shit, right? The EULA, the EULA, human centipedes, and complaining when they don't have licensing. When you can look at the bottom, say this is an online game only. You do not own the rights to this game, and you say accept. It's clear as day, even on the crew, when you went to PlayStation, you looked at it. It said at the very bottom, it said in the fine print, y'all don't read the fine print, and then you complain about making a fucking stupid investor decision like a throwaway consumer you are. Press the key, view, accept. I'm dyslexic. I have a cop-out. I'm dyslexic. I'm not going to read that wall of text. I respect that. I'm not going to try to screw you over. You're not going to try to screw me over. And if anything happens, I'm not going to press charges. And it's not worth your time to sue me. Something like that, right? I don't fucking know. Improved game experience. To improve the game, we may collect optional gameplay data. This allows us to better understand how the beta is performing. No personal information is collected. You can adjust this anytime in settings. Okay, so this is this whole bullshit of people not wanting to give you their data for some stupid ass fucking reason because they think you're gonna abuse it or some shit. You're more apt to have to worry about somebody breaking into their shit, stealing your fucking data, than them abusing your data, because they're using your data to make your experience even fucking better. So it's kind of stupid not to give it to them, right? This thing I was talking about before. You're going to a third-party outlet to voice your concerns instead of giving it to the first party and letting them have that shit. Right? I see no point in not allowing them to have data. Right? Okay, this needs to be changed already. You can't, you can, I understand these are the key bindings that you feel that is how you want to play the game and how you think the game should be experienced, but you have to take into consideration that there is an accessibility issue here. If I cannot key bind properly, then people that actually need the accessibility to move keys around cannot play this game. I knew somebody I was playing Warframe with, and they could not use one of their hands properly, and they were playing with one hand. And if you can't keybind crap, what does that mean? This is like developer presets that you are unable to change at all. Every single one of these buttons. I can understand that aim, ability, fire, engage, all this crap has to be keybind. You know, but this is a problem I have with Pro Controllers not becoming a fucking thing yet, because it doesn't make sense to me that the macro buttons on the back of a Pro Controller are not standalone buttons by now, and then I'm keybinding aim, ability 3, heal, tactical pulse, move. Not, I'm keybinding L2, R1, square, triangle. No, I'm keybinding specific actions to a button, and you are limiting the potential and growth of console, and thus the peripheral of controller that is used on PC, because you're half-assing controller support, which you think has anything to do with console. I can go on a PC right now in most games, and I can keybind anything I want to anything on my keyboard. That's what makes playing on mouse and keyboard the most ideal experience. You can keybind. You have so many key bindings that you can utilize, it's not even funny. And you get a macro mouse involved in that crap, then what do you get right there? The most ideal macroable key binding accessibility experience you can get, and then that's why mouse and keyboard is better than controller. Not because of my analog stick, and I can mess with my DPI and increase my DPI to where I just twitch and then I do a complete, 1080 in a circle. But this needs to be changed. This needs to be custom key bindable. It's okay to have presets. It's okay to, here's Southpaw, here's Honey, here's Solitaire, but it's not okay to make it to where I can't change those buttons around. This is the first thing I check in every single game I play, and when I can't custom keybind, because at this point, dash is on circle, cover is on X, gauge is on triangle. Seems all right. Like the basic layout seems okay for the most part. But still being able to move stuff around, because maybe somebody wants to shoot with L1 and R1. Because that's like the big difference between PS3 Call of Duty and PS4 Call of Duty. Or not PS4 Call of Duty, but Xbox. Playing Call of Duty on Xbox versus playing Call of Duty on PlayStation. You use triggers to shoot on Xbox 360, and on PS3 you used L1, R1. People got used to that shit. Somebody wants to jump into another game, right? And for instance, let's just say the reload button's on triangle button in this game, and every other game they reload buttons on square. When I get into this game and I press fucking square and it doesn't reload, then what do we have here? I need to put that on square, because that way when I jump around games, I don't start confusing myself. My friend would always sit there and, he'd joke at me. He's like, man, you change your, why don't you ever play with the defaults? You always keep changing your buttons. I can't tell you what button to press because I always play with the default. And I'm like, I can't tell you what button to press. I can tell you what button to play. Press the dodge button. What's the dodge button? I don't know, man. I have it mapped to something completely fucking different. Press the dodge button. Find it. And getting ragged on because I move shit around instead of somebody that doesn't, instead of people that are like, you can't play multiple different games. Not if you do not have the ability to keybind shit customly on every fucking build. Because I'm going to jump into a game where the shoot button's R1, and then in this game it's circle, and this game is square, and over here it's L2 for some stupid reason. Oh, that's right, because I'm using a left-handed gun versus a right-handed gun. So, key binding is the most important thing in every single game there is for accessibility purposes. Alone. Let alone what I just said, which is the further playtesting view. Accessibility is the QA, and to jump from game to game to game is a playtester. QAing and playtesting are the exact same thing in theory, if you're doing proper balancing and looking towards the whole build and not just, I want to play the mid-max meta and this is how it's supposed to be. If that mid-max meta is versatility and utilizing everything in the system equally, then okay. That's proper balance. It's not, I like to play offensive and aggressive, or I like to play defensive and aggressive, and that's how the game should be designed around. Y'all are on a defensive, active turn-based system that is completely distorting the offensive evasion factor of the system. That's just my opinion. like I said, that's playtesting, yes. But it's also listening to the biased playtesting of the passive observer versus the initiative intuition player. Just two different things. Rollback netcode really hurts the system, but it's fine. One day they'll understand it. This is good that you put in here, because it's, I mean, when you get into like a white screen or something, not having this background, that's very bad. This is the epitome of opening up the player's, not the player's guide, but the game booklets, the informational booklets, when you go into the system. What can you do? How can you do it? Take the survey. The problem with that is I can't click on it. I have to use my phone. Like I said, you're outsourcing to third-party fucking workaround, and that's the biggest issue with gaming right now. Go to the website instead of me clicking on something in here, you know, on this screen, or me being able to manually go over. Like, if this was computer, I'd be able to click on that link, right? Meaning I don't really have to go out of my way. On console now, you're screwed yourself. This whole development allowing TOS, third-party violation, as a standard practice because too many people are doing it and they can't control it, so they just have to accept it. Well, you know, like I said, if you force them into the first-party avenue with incentives, then maybe they will actually start learning how to do it properly instead of doing a biased playtesting workaround that everyone's utilizing and everyone's saying this is how it's supposed to be done. No, it's how you do it, and because that's how you do it and you con majority of people into doing it that way. Yes, Steam, I'm talking about you, 75% of the PC player base. Everyone has to go there. Not because Steam is better, because that's where everyone the fuck is. There's a complete different... I'm not saying Steam, that's I hate adding fucking caveats. I'm not saying Steam is bad. I'm saying that there is no alternative because of the community being there and saying it's godsend when it's good, but it is not godsend. You are buying from a third-party publisher a first-party game. Very rarely do you pay full price on pre-order. So not only when you do pre-order it, the main company does not get that information because Steam does not have to release that information. And not only is Steam getting a cut of the profits when you do that, you also wait until Steam puts it on sale. And then try to say, well, the developers are the ones that set that sale. Yeah, I wonder why they set that sale. Because 75% of you are over there doing that. Waiting for that sale. Waiting for that marketing data to be abused by a third party that the first party can't even access. And then you sit there and wonder why they can't shift workforce properly because you're going to Steam and they can't get the fucking updated data, you know, to know they need to allocate more people on this project because 5 billion people just pre-ordered that shit on Steam. They can't see that unless Steam lets them have it. Think about that for a second. There's a reason why it's against terms of service to use third-party programs on first-party application. That is what Steam is. I do not care what you say of its legality or how it currently is accepted. That is what it is. Me clicking on that link over there and pulling up Windows, fucking Microsoft Edge or Firefox or Google Chrome or whatever the fuck whatever you're using, I use Opera GX. That's outsourcing this to a third fucking party. Even and it's going even farther because not only am I outsourcing to a third party, I'm not even using PlayStation's portal to do it. So I'm using a third party of a third party. It's awfully convoluted and hard to track that way, and then you wonder why the gaming industry goes into disarray with pricing issues, marketing, or well, I want to say marketing. You know, they start using microtransactions. They start making live service games. They start making it to where you can't access your games offline. Well, if you quit going through a third-party workaround and quit giving them more of the funds, then maybe they can build a proper first-party back end that you can still access your game offline because you're giving them full revenue costs up front instead of giving it to somebody else that, for some strange reason, you think a subpar overlay of communications that Steam is ideal. Let me know how you feel when Steam takes a shit for the day and all of your games are on Steam and you can't go to Blizzard and play Diablo 4 because you bought it stupidly on Steam. Right? I did that. I did that shit day one on Diablo 4. I bought the shit on PS5. I could not access my game on PS5. I went straight to fucking PC and bought that shit again. And I immediately had access to that shit. Fuck that noise. Y'all do not understand the problem you create using a third-party launcher/marketing scheme to the whole gaming industry in general. I don't care. No. Y'all shipped the wrong thing. You should not have supported Steam. It took them 20 years to come out with the Steam Deck. Now they have the Steam Deck. Now technically it's okay to support Steam. But if you supported Steam before the Steam Deck came out, you are part of the issue. You are the reason why all the costs are where they're at. You're the reason why all of the not owning your games, microtransactions, cost inflation of games going up. I'm sorry, you know, like if you're looking at proper economical structurality of how the gaming industry works, you are the issue. I'm sorry. You can say you're not as much as you want, and this is PC people. This is not PlayStation people. This is not Xbox people. This is people that are giving Valve/Steam money when they're supposed to be giving Bandai Namco money. They're supposed to be giving Capcom money. They're supposed to be giving, like I said, Square Enix money. You know, all the main names, right? All the big names, Blizzard, shit like that, right? Steam is a great storefront for the mom and pop shops that are indie developers to get in the door so they can start making money. It has merit, but not as a one-stop shop, because it creates exclusivities as well. Nintendo won the console wars, in my opinion. Sony lost because Sony decided to compete with Xbox Live instead of listening to their fan base about backwards compatibility. If the PlayStation 3, 4, and 5 were able to play PS1 and PS2 games like the actual discs, then Sony would have possibly won the console wars. But because Nintendo is too closed off, you can't, like, they still don't have backwards compatibility, right? So, an Xbox Live was always better than PSN anyway. It was always better than PSN. Sorry. Because people want to use something for free and not help support it. I always paid for 3 months on PSN on PlayStation 3 for the very reason that I knew that in 3 months I would get enough discounts to pay for my subscription from the PSN store. That is why you had a PlayStation membership. Was so Sony would give you a discount on specific games when they went on sale. And within those 3 months, you would try to find a game that would make up that cost. I spent $35 on this. Well, let me see. Oh, this game, $15 off. Oh, this game over here, another $15 off. Well, what about this game? This game's $15 off. So if I buy 3 games that are on sale, I make up the cost and that subscription fee. regardless of what you think. I'm gonna buy them anyway. That's why Xbox Live has always been better, because people had to buy into it. You had to have an Xbox Gold, Live Gold. What, Xbox Gold Live or Xbox Live Gold? A silver was doable, but you couldn't access shit, right? Now this whole having to pay to access something, man. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with the fact that there is such a thing as excess, demanding too much money for something, right? But demanding $8 for a subscription on something that you're going to use, like Steam should be charging you a fucking membership. Let me put it that way. You being able to access Steam for free is bullshit. That's my opinion. I mean, I don't know many people that would not pay $5 a month to have a better experience on Steam. This is like going into RuneScape and spending $5 to have a membership to have the full experience. All it is $5 fucking dollars. Right? Now, this is the same thing with Final Fantasy 14. You know, you have people say $14, $15 is a bit expensive for a monthly subscription. Especially when there's all this other shit that you're utilizing, right? For Final Fantasy 14. But if it's the only thing you're playing, it's respectable. Right? Hell, if it's the only thing you're playing, $30 a month is respectable. If it's the only thing you're using, right? But, you know, when you have something like me being a legacy player of Final Fantasy 14, all I have to do is spend $10 because I supported them from the very fucking beginning and they grandfathered me into the cost. Okay, I can go activate my PlayStation. I can go activate, well, as soon as I get access to my account because my security token's fucked. But I could go right now and I could spend for a year like $80 for a year on Final Fantasy. Why not? Doesn't seem that expensive. Not to me. If I'm planning on playing it for a year, hell, if I'm ever even planning on playing it for 3 months out of that year, I mean, if you took my play time out of the full year and it added up to about 3 months, I think it'd be worth it. Right? It's about $20 a month. And on average. But whatever. And this is and this is where you can use AI right here, buddy. Have this shit, you know, speech to text my ass with AI. Previously in Expanse, Osiris Reborn, you and your twin are pink water security mercenaries. You lost your entire squad while narrowly escaping Eros Station, where the entire population was infected with an unknown substance. Yeah, it's called bigotry. You escape on an enemy ship, the Mat, and now want to find out who's responsible for Eros. Eros? Eros. I don't know. You've just arrived at Pinkwater Force Station to discuss the situation with your boss, Oscar O'Connell? I don't know. During docking, your twin, Jay, was unintentionally rude to the dispatcher and wants to make amends. What? Whatever. That's why I can't QA, man. Bigot-ass playtesters put me in a rage-induced state as they talk about proper balancing and equality when they're glorified shipping a self-serving narrative. Which is not wrong, but to lie about it, that's the problem I fucking have about it. Alright, I was expecting a triangle button to give me like an overview or some shit like that, but I got nothing. I'm hoping that when I click on one of these, it does not automatically make it where I'm at. Oh, wait. Wait, no, that's right. If I remember reading correctly, these are species. Or, I don't know if species. Yeah, okay, so these are people born in outer space, and these are people born on Earth. Right? And then, of course, you have male and then female. Right? Or is that not how it works? I'm confused. Well, we have to go with an Earther. That way, it's kind of like a Superman effect, where when you go out into space, you're a little bit stronger, at least not susceptible to G-forces as much as you would if you were born in outer space. Right? I don't know. Maybe they have that. Maybe they have that backlog in lore or something like that. Because I would be I would question their integrity, their structural integrity, when they went onto a planet like Earth or something like that, right? Something with actual real G-forces, not something that is simulated G-forces. Though technically at that advanced stage of where they're at, I guess it wouldn't matter. They would simulate that G-force properly. It'd be no different than putting people in a spinning centrifugal force engine and trying to make sure they can hit 9 or 10 Gs, right, before going up in outer space. It would be the exact same thing, but if you're born in outer space, how would you acclimate to that? Right? An officer or a hacker? Well, technically, can an officer be a hacker? Uh-oh. Yeah, so you need to give a description overview of what that crap was, because I clicked on it and it just loaded me in, and I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea what I'm doing. So that selection screen needs information. Triangle, hit triangle on it or some shit like that.
Ah, my man Zafar. Glad to see you.
Okay. So let's go back. Do not save, do not quit. Do not save and quit. No, I prefer to play female characters. Just my opinion. Okay, it's locked up. That's not good. Wait, hold up. What the crap was that? Press all kinds of buttons, then you accidentally find the debug mode. Game mechanics. Animation. Describe issue. There's a frame rate issue. There's a frame. That was a frame rate issue, but why is there a frame rate issue? I don't know. You didn't close off one of the cells properly, and some shit's leaking through. There's an asset that's not completely installed properly, and it's causing your ray tracing to create issues. I'll never agree with ray tracing. How the hell did I access it? This should be in the game, man. I should be able to press the start button or the option button and then go down and click on that shit. Like, I'm locked into the system now. I can't move. None of my buttons are working. See? Press all the buttons at once and shit'll happen. Hold on. Where's it at? Good God. Because it's not a cutscene. That was in-game graphics, so it's actually an animation button. Could be possibly a performance button, right? So my ass is fucking dyslexic, so I cannot stand this shit. It can go under animation, cutscene, and fucking performance. Let's not include interface, because I'm having an interface issue right now. Right? So technically, this is happening right now. Anything that doesn't fit in the other categories. Technically, this should be anything. Fuck if it doesn't fit into other categories. This should be just anything. Click on here. Describe your issue here. I don't know what category the fuck it falls under, because it could fall under this one, it could fall under this one, and it could fall under this one. I mean, now, because at this point, look at it like this. It's an interface issue and it's a mechanic issue because the buttons aren't working properly. The interacting buttons are not working properly. But I know what you mean by interacting. You're talking about going up to something, pressing a button, and it fucking worked. I hate to break it to you. I'm pressing up to try to get to that load screen and it's not working, man. Which is the same shit. Let me back into that menu. How the fuck do I get into that menu? It's L3, R3. Okay. Why isn't that even on the screen? At the bottom, it should say press L3, R3 to access bug reporting. And this shit should be in every fucking game. The fact that this is not in every fucking game is the main issue. I can click on here. I can click on here. I can send you, I can add my email address to let you know who the fuck give it to you. I can even add fucking Discord. Right? Look at that shit. What is this? Right? I can make it a suggestion, a minor issue or a major issue. Right now we're on a major issue because I can't even get into the game because I went to the menu without saving. But I'm on PC. I should have actually gotten this on PC because I don't have a keyboard plugged in. But it doesn't matter because at this point I'd go back, I'd watch my stream, I'd take notes, and then I would submit a QA from your fucking website. Not expect you to somehow find my stream on X or my post on X, even if I add it you, and get the proper information you needed. Like I said, third-party marketing launchers, fucking third-party communications, fucking third-party storefront, third-party communications are ruining fucking video games. They're fucking ruining it. Supporting Sony, giving Sony some of the money for this game because I'm playing on a fucking PlayStation is not the same thing as giving Steam some of the money of the game because I'm playing on computer. If I'm giving Steam some of the money on the game because I'm using the Steam Deck, that makes sense. But if I'm using a ROG or I'm just using a Microsoft custom-built PC, no, makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. None. You're distorting proper allocation of funds. Sorry, I was responding to somebody on Discord. In any case, like I said, it's to the point to where I don't like Reddit, I don't like Discord, I don't like Steam. I'm going to have to start using Discord because that's where everyone the fuck is, and I have to accept that. But that doesn't mean that's the proper way of doing it. So, I'm going to close the app and relaunch the game. Like I said, the fact you have to put that caveat at the beginning saying this is a beta version of the game and this is not the final product, and with people that have given you $60 or $70, $80, well, technically, I guess $80, right? Wait. I don't know. I can't remember if it's $60 or $70. I can't remember it. Or $70 or $80. I don't remember if it's $69.99 or $70.99. It doesn't matter. The fact that you have to put that in the front so people don't refund the fucking game, which at least they did now, so you don't have to worry about it. Which means like you could tally that and be like, oh, they bought it, but it's broken. Maybe they'll buy it again later because they saw something they thought was interesting, and when it comes out, maybe they'll give that money back. So you can at least still get that data. But the fact is that I'm not going to buy a game because someone else recommends it. I'm going to buy a game because I look at the game myself and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. Not, oh, everyone else says this game's interesting. That's why third-party communications is shit. It always has been, always will be. You are not making a personal decision. You are allowing for everyone else to dictate that decision. I'm assuming it was male and female. I can't remember though, but I think that's right because I read the website. That's the only reason why I know that. Because I read the website. I'll let it play out. I'll let it play out.
Oh, my man Zafar. Glad to see you.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm
Coffee?
still male anyway.
I got a fresh pot.
Thanks.
Oh, wait.
Can't imagine what hoops you jumped through to get the coffee. Let alone this.
Let's see if it does it again. Let's see, because you have it there. Bug report. Cannot save. Why can't I? Okay, I can go to main menu. Because I think that's what I clicked on, right? Don't save and quit. All right, let's see if it locks up again, because then it's going to prove that going to... Okay, it didn't lock up this time. So that means that it's not... It's not a continual thing. Maybe it was a different game I'm thinking about. See, this is a problem with playing multiple games. You get mixed up. I thought there was two selections, one male, one female. Like I said, you have play testers thinking they're doing proper quality assurance or not. Which bothers me. Like I said, the game-breaking speed runner mentality, it bothers me.
Oh, my man Zafar.
I don't even know why you're allowing me to move in the background while there's an overlay in front of it, but because it's telling me it's loading before it even happens. Wait, did I pick that one last time? Can't remember. I don't understand why the Belters are female and the Earthers are humans. You're trying to say that the frames are not as structurally sound? People might not look kindly to that. Maybe I want it to be a female Earther. Why can't I be a female Earther? Some play testing acknowledgement. Not that big of a deal. It very well might be to some people. It's not game breaking. If it causes certain people not to buy the game, it's game breaking. We'll go with an officer. Officer can be a hacker too.
Oh, my man Zafar. Glad to see you.
Coffee? I got a fresh pot.
Thanks. Can't imagine what hoops you jumped through to get the coffee, let alone the spices.
Every little joy is a candle. The more you light, the more life's darkness wanes.
Zafar and his metaphors. But you're right. The dark days are definitely upon us.
I was so worried about you, my friends. We couldn't contact the Piranha. Eros went silent. There was all kinds of speculation.
What exactly?
That pulsing
Talk
light
about
behind the
some outbreak
name
in quarantine.
is problematic.
All the while, the UN and Mars issue no official statements. As if they were blindsided by all of this.
Okay, at least it's not. God, I hope you don't add timed. I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic. So you giving me a timed? You have to read this within 5 seconds. When here, let me give you an excuse. I was playing, or not an excuse. Let me give you an example. I was playing. What was I playing? One of the Dark Anthology games. Little Hope or something like that. The Town of Hope or whatever. But I was playing one, right? And at the very end, spoilers, you were sitting there trying to be pulled up out of a pit by your friends, right? And one of the selections read, go, 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 right? And I picked that. And I was thinking it meant speed up and hurry up because I'm on a time-limited shit trying to, express myself. Come to find out, it meant leave me the fuck behind and run and save yourself. Not hurry the fuck up and get me out of here. So, time limited choices that you have to read? No. Now, if you're saying I need to do a quick time event by pressing a button on the screen or whatever, I can get behind that. But when I have to take in context, no. Fuck no. Fuck no. I don't give a fuck if there's a,
The outbreak is real.
I don't give a fuck if there's I accidentally pressed one of the back pedals on my button, so I didn't even read that shit. But no, I don't even care if there's a self-destruct timer running in the background. That shit should not count down while I'm sitting here trying to read this shit. Time is paused as we have thought acceleration as I'm thinking about what we're doing. Something like that. I do not agree with text selection being time limited. Need to.
Oh, my man Zafar. Glad to see you.
Coffee? I've got a fresh pot.
Thanks. Can't imagine what hoops you jumped through to get the coffee, let alone the spices.
Every little joy is a candle. The more you light, the more life's darkness wanes.
Zafar and his metaphors. But you're right. The dark days are definitely upon us.
I was so worried about you, my friends. We couldn't contact the Piranha. Eros went silent. There was all kinds of speculation.
What exactly?
Talk about some outbreak and quarantine. All the while, the UN and Mars issue no official statements. As if they were blindsided by all of this.
Okay. Talking about some outbreaks. So you just said that. Disease was spread on purpose. Not sure exactly what happened.
We're not sure what happened there exactly. But the quarantine is definitely just a cover.
Is that why you're alone? Without Vic and the others?
Yes, no one else survived. They blew up the Piranha when it was leaving. Whoever destroyed the station didn't want witnesses. We didn't know these guys like you did, Zafar. Still, we're so sorry.
Such cruel irony. Not to die in combat, but on vacation. Report to Director O'Con.
The only thing that I would say is that they look like they're standing there stiff.
Oh, ASAP. I just have one question.
It'd be one thing if, like, she went and leaned on that box or something like that, like, but the fact is all three of them are all standing stiff. There's no like she went over and leaned on the box. He's pacing while you're just standing there looking stiff. It's one thing if one person is just standing there looking stiff, but when all three of them are standing there in the exact same type of manner, it's a little strange to me.
Is this ship yours?
You could say that. She was our ticket off Eros.
It was a rendering issue, right?
She can be legally recognized as yours by right of salvage. If the previous owners are dead, of course.
Ah.
Oh, they are.
We made sure.
You'll have to tell me that story later. Right now, this ship needs a checkup and a reprogrammed transport.
I laugh because we made sure of it. People would imply that we actually are the ones that did it, but no, we made sure they were dead before we took the ship type thing. Not we're the ones that did it.
Wonder.
Wait, what did he say? You have to tell me that story later. Right now, the ship needs a checkup and a reprogrammed transponder. That sounds like a hassle. Do you know anyone that can help? Can you help? We haven't decided what to do with the ship. We haven't decided what to do with the ship.
We haven't decided what to do with the ship yet.
Okay. Just let me know. But I'd still like to inspect her if you don't mind.
Well, a checkup never hurt, right?
Oh, that's fine.
If you don't mind, we'd really appreciate it. Sorry, but we need to go now. O'Connell's waiting.
Luna always carries with it the tides. I wish I knew what it is you carry. Good luck.
So, next up,
That automatic thing on the door I thought was something I needed to read.
report to the boss.
Automatic door! Okay, you have tank controls. That's a good thing. Love tank controls. This is tank controls right here. Not the camera's stuck like this, and it's always going to be like this. There's a difference between fixed camera angle and tank controls. This is tank controls. Up is up, back is back, left is left, right is right. I love tank controls in third person. It's like the best way to do the game. Always the best way to do the game. Not this, I'm spinning in a circle. Now, don't get me wrong. When you aren't allowed to use a pro controller and you have to spin the camera at the same time, right? Why am I facing the wrong way? There we go. So you at least recalibrate. So it's like, that would be an interesting way of doing it, where if you're spinning around in a circle, right, and you do get turned around like how I did, like that, then it's kind of like how you have it set to where if I look down, it'll automatically always go back up. It means that I can run back towards the like that, right? I don't know. It's hard to explain. But the character will always face the direction the camera's facing, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Like I said, the fact that macro buttons are not becoming standalone by themselves and you could just map something to them is something consoles need to improve upon. I'm sorry. The reason why controllers can't keep, like I said before, the reason why controllers cannot keep up with mouse and keyboard has nothing to do with sensitivity. It has everything to do with macro ability. Like I said, you can not only adjust your DPI on PC or in Windows, then you can go in the game and adjust it too. And then you can have a mouse that lets you toggle between that sensitivity adjustment, right? So I'm not stuck to one static sensitivity. I can switch it when I want without having to go in here and then come down to here and then go over to here and then go like this, right? Hell to the no. Hell no. It probably would be about, see, like, because at that point it needs a ramp up. You need a ramp up to where for instance, if I'm just tilting the stick a little bit, it's slower. But as soon as I hit the full tilt, it can actually ramp up. Like, if I never go full tilt, it won't ramp up. Like, so if I stay like right here, it won't ramp up, right? But as soon as I hit full tilt. Hold up. So like right there, right? And then if I hit the full tilt, it'll actually go 0.5 times faster. So it's like you sit there and have it set to, I don't know, 7. You have it set to 5 or 7, right? And then when you actually go full tilt, it turns it cranks it up to like 10 or 11 or some shit like that. Well, somewhere between 8 and 10 or something like that. I don't know. Because you have to take into consideration your strafing too, and if you're strafing, then you don't need the sensitivity up that high. You only need it up high enough to make to where you can, realistically in Call of Duty, the way I always saw it is you only need it up high enough to where you can knife somebody to your left or your right. You don't need it to where you can knife somebody from behind you. I don't care what you think you are. Like, that is not going to improve anything. You can acclimate to it and act like it's improving something, but it's not going to improve anything. My friend played on like the default. He plays on the default sensitivity like at 3 or something, and he ganks people all day long. It's all in how you approach. You don't go blindly rushing into where you have to spin completely around because you pass somebody. Right? But, I don't know, the camera seems a little too close for me. But it might be just because I'm claustrophobic with this. That seems a little too fast. Can I not talk to you? I don't know, it seems... The ratio seems off, man. It does. It seems like it needs to be more... I don't know how to describe it. It seems like it's a 1-to-1 ratio and I'm too close. Like, it needs... Like... We're talking, because at this point we're talking about widescreen where it comes in, my character shrinks, and I can see farther to the left and the right. Where the character's position isn't as bad as not being able to see farther to the left and farther to the right. If that makes any sense. It feels very claustrophobic and cramped. Oh, I didn't have to hold it. Is this decompression or decontamination? What is this crap? Graphically, it looks good. Take out of this box.
Let's go visit Larry.
Frame
Stop
rate
by
drop.
and say hello. You think he'll be glad to see you? I called him a pain in the ass. I want to say sorry.
It's registering that shit behind that door. This is why you can't have see-through shit, because the lag spike came because there's so much fucking shit happening back there. That had to have been why it dropped frames, because you can see the shit through that window right there. This is the same thing as why reflections don't work well, right? Because if you had, that would be like putting 2 models on the screen at the exact same time and keeping track of it in the exact same movement. Not to mention, if I can kick one of these boxes and move that box, is that going to show up in the mirror? Right, so at that point, a proper mirror would actually be loading the room twice in mirror image. Right? That'd be the only way to do a proper mirror. You would have to gimmick how the lighting would affect that bouncing off of that mirror. But in realistic, like if the mirror was dirty, but then again, that would just be nothing. That would be no different than putting specs on that window and then me looking around. Something like that. My bad. Dude, that dude's pretty short, isn't it? So what's going to happen when you're born out in an asteroid belt? You're not going to grow tall enough because you know, your frame wasn't structured for it. I don't know. Lag. I was just seeing if there's, I was seeing if there was any different settings in the game. Motion blur. No one likes motion blur. Our eyes do it as it is. We don't need your motion blur.
The explosion at the ice hauler, Canterbury, has caused a water supply Welcome back to the station, General.
Over the inevitability of a military conflict between Mars and Earth. One of the survivors, the executive officer of the Canterbury, James Holden, has published a video in which he declares that the ice hauler was destroyed by the MCRN. Mars denies all accusations. Holden's whereabouts remain unknown. Problems with the stable shipment of ice to Ceres have led to water supply disruptions throughout the station. Chaos in the streets of the Medina. Protests, riots, and attacks on inners.
Because it's the same thing as the more motion, for instance, if you actually had live stream video instead of like screenshots, how bad would that mess up the frame rate? Like, it'd be cool as shit if you were standing here watching people have a riot in the background, right? Versus just a still shot of it. But how much frame data would that shit eat up? How much frames would that eat up? It'd have to spike really bad, right?
Security has blocked off certain key sectors. Epidemic on Eros. An unknown infection has been spreading among the residents of Eros, resulting from the disruption of air and water treatment systems.
That dude's interested as well. Get to work, bro.
The station is currently under quarantine. No connection has yet to be established. Follow us for more of the latest from the belt and around the system.
Well played.
Not our finest moment.
Not enough. Not enough what? It's the problem I have with Resident Evil, man. This is, like I said, this is where you can put AI fucking assistance, man. Accessibility. Maybe a 5-year-old would like to play this game if they could read this shit. I know because I probably have a 5-year-old reading level. In any case, colleagues, after using juice batch number 4411, there's been a sharp increase in side effects. 12 cases of hand tremors, 3 cases of hallucinations. One poor guy saw the singing bear in a vac suit and now thinks it's his guardian angel. Who are you to judge, man? 6 cases of ocular hemorrhages? That doesn't sound good. That sounds like the worst fucking one. People are afraid to get in the couches? What is that? What word is that? This is the shit I'm talking about. We're not sling shooters. We don't need a mix for 9G. You fucking might. Were you born in outer space? You fucking might. In any case, return the entire batch and change it to an analog with reduce simulations and stop skimping on supplies. Not like it's water, medical tech, Harun Alai. I don't know. Pink water 4. The point is you could easily press the triangle button for text to speech. So I don't have to fucking read this shit. While not paying somebody the fuck else to read this shit, man. Everyone keeps shitting on AI being bad, and it's like, okay, first of all, no. It's the human that uses the AI that is bad, not the AI itself. And second of all, it depends on how it's implemented. For instance, you have all of these assets right here. You have this shit, you have this shit, you have this shit, you have all of this assets. You built this shit yourself, right? You built if you built all of these assets yourself, or they were free assets that you implemented, and you wanted a computer to compile a brand new fucking area. You know, this is the shit that pissed me off about Warframe, you know, and getting into altercation with that person about that shit. Warframe or PE will not be utilizing, will never be using AI. And I'm like, why are you shoving me out of the way, dude? You have an oppressive ass hurt box for somebody so small. In any case, first of all, I'm going to argue you should never use the word never lightly. We are not looking into utilizing AI assistance right now. That's fine. I call her bullshit because to never use AI, you're full of shit. You have procedurally generated maps, meaning you built this room right here. You built this room right here. You even built that room behind that door. You built the room in there. You built the shit around there. And then you had a computer compile that shit together, randomized for you. And you're going to call that not AI assistance. Like I said, if you took, if all of the assets are yours or free, right? Then it doesn't matter. It does not matter. If the AI assembles you a new fucking room and you can look at it and be like, that's not really what I want. What's the next one? Oh, that one's cool. Let's save that one. That one's a good design. What about this one? That one's not really good. And then technically you could take those really not good ones, throw it to your art team and be like, make this shit better because the AI said this looked good, but it's not. Doesn't look good. Fix it. Fix it. Y'all keep thinking that it's going to remove the fact that somebody has to actually make that fucking asset and put it in the game first. Reusing, like, you act like AI reusing assets is the issue, not the fact that someone built this asset and the AI is using it without permission, which means the humans let that asset get into there when it shouldn't have gotten into there because it should have been all in-house to begin with. Just like the two people that are voicing these two characters right here. If you wanted to use their likeness, you have the ability to ask these people because you're paying them right the fuck now. Okay, can we use your voice lines for more AI spur of the moment shit, right? But then it'll be like, well, I didn't say that, and the AI said something I would never say, and it's because now we're, like I said, now we're dealing with a fucking whole controversy on subjective ass opinion passed off as factual objection. Because it is. It's conjectural fucking opinion that is objectually fact because someone believes it. So, I don't know. As long as it's an actor that you've paid to work on this project, I don't see a problem with implementing a form of AI to where if this actor, and I hate using actress because it's just stupid to me. An actor is a fucking actor, and I don't think a gender should be involved in that shit. That's just my opinion. And the fact is that if I come up and talk to this, the actor could read this to me in an AI orchestrated mode. Right? If I'm running around doing shit, you could also implement it to where that AI uses that voice actor to change up pre-scripted dialogue and mix them around together. Right? Because it's not going to stupidly produce something illogical. It might. And people blowing the shit out of proportion is a problem because they're juvenile and childish shit. They're childistic, whatever the fuck. I don't know. They're childish, right? They did it. Let me go post this shit on this to start blowing it out of proportion instead of just submitting it to fucking the team saying, hey, you might want to look into this because this shit shouldn't have sounded like this. It was very provocative or whatever. It was very provocative. It was very not normal and might rub people the wrong way. You might want to look into it. No, instead, what do? You go to public forums and you put that shit on fucking blast, violating the trust of a proper NDA of accessibility. Accessibility? I don't fucking. It's fucking stupid. It truly is fucking stupid. We're in a time to where consumerism is on binging and throwing away. And to not utilize AI would be completely fucking stupid. It is the only thing that would be able to keep up with the demand, the supply that the demand is fucking screaming about. But people won't let AI flourish like it's supposed to, which is with proper human oversight. So it keeps producing slop and everyone keeps going, AI just produces shit. You're just using AI. That's shit. And the only thing that is produced with AI is shit. No, because you keep saying it's shit and everybody keeps giving backlash on it, the AI does not have a chance to calibrate and get optimal because you think people are going to lose fucking jobs when it's still going to need a babysitter to begin with. Meaning every single job it takes away, it creates one. Because at that point, every company is going to be using their own data set that they fucking plug into a whatever AI that their company supports. And then that AI will compile all of their shit based off of that data and then produce all licensed shit that is theirs because it's all of their assets, not somebody's free assets that wants to say, that's my asset, you can't use it and make money off of it. You're full of shit, man. You act like your idea is original. Everyone's idea came off of somebody else's idea that came before. We're all just an evolution of what came before us, and to try to fucking copyright or fucking patent it, anything, makes no fucking sense to me. None. None whatsoever. But we're not to that Star Trek level of gross yet. Someone's just trying to take advantage of the situation and leave me less than what I was. Because they got more because I didn't get anything for it. I mean, you think about it logically. If you think about it logically. That's what Bill Gates did. That's what Steam did. That's what Microsoft and what Steam has done. It's okay, but it's okay for Steam to do what they did, but it's not okay for Microsoft to do what they did. Right? Taking everyone's idea, making it into something better, and taking credit for putting the Lego blocks together so everyone can benefit from it, even if one person profited off it. Everyone's benefiting from it. Sorry.
Hey, what's wrong with the cable?
Oh no.
Nah, nothing's wrong. Management just ordered all the wires to be replaced. Great modernization.
Like I said, it's like
Definitely
all of this should have
I
text to
don't doubt
speech.
it.
It really should
Well,
have text
good
to
luck.
speech at least, guys. We're in the age to where people don't want to read shit anymore, and it hurts the experience not to have text to speech. And I can't read this shit out loud on stream because I'm dyslexic. I can skim it myself, which is fine, but now it's like, so now if I'm streaming it, it'd be a lot easier and accessible for just to press a button and let it read it to me. Right? Because at this point it would be either read it out loud, read it to myself, and then commentate on what I just read. And which one is most ideal? Well, I'm dyslexic, so reading it to myself and then commentating on what I just read would probably be most ideal, but realistically, why the hell can't I press triangle button and it read it fucking to me? Like I said, AI using for accessibility, man, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. Don't abuse it, but don't sleep on it either. Because at that point, was this written by a real person? I don't give a fuck if it was put into an AI to make it more appealing to the majority. The first rough draft of this, was it written by a real person before you put it into the AI generator to spit it back out properly? That's the only thing that fucking matters to me. Right? Were you brainstorming with the AI to come up with context around the idea that you're doing, and then you were cherry picking what was produced from it? That means that you helped. Meaning it is not AI content. It's human AI content or AI human content, depending on how you want to say, well, the AI made all of that and you didn't make any of it. That person believes it's AI-human content, whereas I believe it's human AI content, or both. It doesn't matter. The AI can't produce shit unless you give it something. So it's one thing if you give it your own work, and it's one thing if you give it fan fiction and then revise that fan fiction into a unique aspect. That's the good thing about science fiction versus science fantasy. Science fantasy is very hard. It would be harder to make science fantasy because you actually have to make shit unique. Science fiction doesn't fucking matter. You can base anything off of real reality and get the fuck away with it because nobody copyright that shit, bro. Sorry. You're full of shit. You know, isn't it the whole thing of citing references when you're doing a paper or a thesis paper or something, saying, I got this information, credits. This is when you give credits to, oh, well, I pulled this from Newtonian law, so, you know, Sir Isaac Newton gets credit for this shit. I mean, there's no fucking different than that. Well, it's not my original thought. I expanded upon this thought. Which is exactly what the fuck AI does. You give AI a thought, and then it expands upon that thought. Meaning it's never pure AI. Unless the thought was not your own, but then that's the only issue you have when it's somebody else's thought that you took and then put into the AI and then made it your own. I understand the issue and controversy around it, but y'all aren't looking at it in the right way, in my opinion. To not utilize AI in a binge-watching throwaway society, you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. There's no polite way of putting that. Humans cannot keep up with that type of demand. That type of supply and demand is just not feasibly possible. And like I said, you would still need a human checker at the end result to be like, well, that shit don't look right. You need to go back and redo this. Or the AI generates it for you. You're like, okay, that looks fucked up. Hand it to the people that can fix it in your other departments. So it's not like you're going to lose shit. I'm sorry. Report number 214. First stage of pipe laying completed. Technicians have completed the first stage of pipe laying in sector, I think that's B. Airlock 2, everything is ready for stage 2 and no technical defects have been detected. Chief Technical Inspector Lori Malmo. Oh boy. To all Pink Water 4 employees. Quarterly reminder of basic safety rules for station surface work and maintenance. 1. Personnel protective equipment. Always wear safety equipment, including helmets, gloves, and magnetic boots before going out onto the surface. Strict compliance with communication protocols. Communicate with coworkers regularly. Provide clear updates on your status and promptly report any problems experienced while on the surface. 3. Beware of the location of emergency airlocks. In case of an emergency, follow established procedures and safely return to the station. Submit for a transfer application. Electric transfer applications are accepted every 5th of the month. If you have any questions, please contact your direct commanding officer. Current availability. Callisto, Europa, Special Commission by personal request. A memo for interplanet operations. On your first Pink Water 4 visit, don't forget about the Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect is a phenomenon that occurs when an object moves in a rotating environment, like the inside or outside surface of a rotating station. The Coriolis effect impacts life on the station. In a rotating environment, liquids behave differently, which affect plumbing, ventilation, and even your balance. The Coriolis effect can change the trajectory of your movements. To avoid collision, watch your surroundings closely, especially when moving or performing delicate tasks on the surface. Use our complex training programs containing simulation exercises to learn more about the Coriolis effect and its consequences. It will help you better maintain your own and other safety on the Pink Water 4 station. Yes, it started to get agitated because it kept dragging on. So, it will help you better maintain your own and other safety on the Pink Water station. That's a bit excessive. You didn't need to add that. Sorry, just in my opinion. Dusty Keeper's Treasures. New quest received. What? I didn't even read this shit. What? Dorktet stealing resources again. I don't mean to be a pest, but our supplies are being stolen again. We have the renowned Dorktet from maintenance. Does 4 play some kind of dumb board game? I don't mind. Play all you want, but one of those morons actually spaced a capsule with the Dusty Keeper's treasure. now some other morons are gonna come looking for it. Now, the funny thing about that is you can tell this is why AI is important, because that's very hard to read and it sounds stupid. One, because you used morons twice. Right? Two, because you used and now some other morons are going to look for it in a different sentence structure. So why not put this into an AI and have it write it more fluently? Oh, that's right. Because it somehow changes the fact that it was a real human's thought that went into the input that produced a more appropriate output that user agreed with. All right, that's acceptable. I might say something along those lines. That's fine. And move the fuck on. They wasted company fuel. Please handle this. Insert a copy of the message as proof. Inserting a copy of the message as proof. GM Rafi. So brave defenders, you have earned some peace and a reward. The Dusty Keeper's treasure awaits you near these coordinates. I'm not going to read that shit out, but okay. Wait. What is that? It's more than longitude and latitude. I don't know, man. I was just thinking you, what, you and y'all or whatever. You and y'all. How you barrel rolling isn't the same thing as going down and up. If that makes any sense. Because you're flipping orientation or some shit like that. This is the final gift of the fallen defender of the crooked Orbit Kingdom. Good luck, adventurers. P.S. Cool idea, huh? Time to take our campaign to the next level. By the way, the next game has been postponed to Thursday. Got a business trip to Callisto. Wait, so they stole something and made a fucking game out of it? That sounds problematic. Damn dungeon masters not keeping in their imagination. Alright. Wait, hear that? Name Shimizu Jaban. Status station cook. Contract is active. Origin Earth. Remarks. Regular request for ingredients not included in the mercenary standard ration. Tofu, cilantro, berries. Tried to start green Mondays and Tuesdays. The initiative was scrapped after a collective complaint. Yeah, everybody wants to eat meat. Do you realize that? Have you ever tried to eat meat with no seasoning on it? Tastes like shit. I would rather eat a vegetable. I'd rather eat lettuce. I'd rather eat a carrot. I'd rather eat a tomato than to eat meat with no seasoning on it. Which means that if you have to season up something for it to taste good, this is like adding hot sauce to a taco. If you need something to make it taste different than what it was originally, there's a problem. Just being honest. Meat is really fucking disgusting, not seasoned. In any case, unauthorized. Don't get me wrong. I like eating steak. I love steak. Steak is awesome. Like fucking fried pork chops. Don't act like I don't like eating meat when I say this. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not vegan. But I do respect. But I do respect that it takes time for shit to grow. So we can't just eat all meat and we can't just eat all fruits and vegetables, because all the vegetables and shit would be eaten while they were growing. Some shit like that. It's hard to explain. Well, it's not hard to explain. It's hard to explain it in a way that somebody else will understand it the same way I do. Unauthorized attempt to exit onto the station hall. The goal was to figure out how to cook a real space chip in a vacuum. Or real space chips in a vacuum. That sounds like fun. Note, advise restricting access to menu planning. Okay. What was that? Something popped up. Where's that? I hear it.
Hey, so what's with Eros? Is there really a quarantine?
Sorry, we have to report to O'Connell first. Protocol and all.
Then I won't hold you up. Old man's not in the mood, so don't keep him too long.
That's cool. Wait, can I talk to him again? No. But that's my point. Like, how many people actually bought this and are just running through trying to get a dopamine rush of something new and be like, I'm bored, I want something to do, instead of, let's make this shit better. I talked to this dude and the game didn't crash. I talked to this dude and the game didn't crash. I'm bumping into this guy to where I'm not just walking through his ass. You know, same thing as this guy. I'm not just walking through his fucking ass. You know, or even worse, this guy fucking pushes me in a corner right here and I can't get the fuck out because this guy's in the way. You know, some shit like that. Because of those nasty ass collision boxes that you think is ideal in some cases. Or all cases. And not just some cases. Are we done with inspecting this room?
Excuse me.
There's no excuse for you. What's that from? I'd say a gifted sub for anyone who could tell me what that was from. And be right about it. But, you know. You'll be like, I don't want to gift a sub to you. I said a gift a sub, they never said it was me. I'd give you a turbo if you allowed me because you're stupidly fucking, you know, donating to one person instead of giving Twitch $15 to make the platform better. Sorry. I'm sorry. Because the ideology that you would... You're supporting the content creator or the streamer more by giving them $5 than giving Twitch Turbo $15 to where you can go watch everybody is bullshit. Because if everybody had Twitch Turbo, they'd be able to pay them more for every ad that was ran. But because not everyone has Twitch Turbo and everyone's just donating $5 to a very specific niche, the ad revenue you get from something is less than what it's supposed to be because Twitch isn't getting enough money to increase that value. I'm dealing with incompetent investors and ignorant people ignorant understanding of economics. You're happy? You enjoy doing this work? Some would differ. Excuse me, let me get out of here. All right. Wait, do you really have that shit set to L3 and R3? Wait, can you access that from here? Oh, you can. Nice. I don't know if I would do that. Doing that on the main menu is fine. L3 and R3 on the main menu is fine. You can save that button input for something else because I can press start and go down to it. Sorry. There's no reason to have L3 and R3 do that because I might be in the middle of something, tense up, and accidentally hit that fucking button. That is not good. If there's a difference with me tensing up and using an ultimate or some shit because I fucking panicked, it would make more sense because my character at least did something physically or you know, that matched the instance, right? Versus immersive breaking shit. This being L3 plus R3 in the main menu is fine. Here, no. Even L3 and R3 here is fine. Like with this opened up, right? Where I can go down to bug report, or at the bottom it says press L3 and R3 for bug report. Not here. Not when you're not in the dashboard or the options menu or settings menu or whatever the fuck you want to call this. So this should not happen. I should not be able to do that outside of that, in my opinion. It's immersive breaking if it's done on accident. Wait,
Oh, Jimmy, too. That's your ship in the barn, isn't it?
Is it?
Where'd you pick up something like that?
Hi, Prisha. It's a long story.
Whatever. You'll probably spill the next time we drink anyway. I just gotta remember to ask.
Nice. You could add accessibility to where it vibrated when somebody talked. That way, anybody that is not is hearing impaired will turn and try to figure out what the fuck that vibration came from, and then they'll see that somebody's talking.
Just need to analyze it a bit.
What crap's going on here? You're taking me away from where I was
It's time to lock down dispatch.
Is it? Is it?
Larry, there's a weird blip on the LiDAR.
That's my future. I'm gonna throw myself out of the airlock if I'm not left in peace.
I'm serious. This spot is a degree hotter than the surrounding space.
Probably a dust cloud or some debris. It happens.
No point escalating it now.
Hi, Larry. We're back.
And hi to you too. I wish I could pretend that I'm too busy and don't have time to talk. But I'm on a break.
Oh, come on. I'm really glad to see you. And I'm sorry for calling you a pain in the ass.
Sorry, give me a second. Why so glum? You look tired. See you around. You look tired.
You look tired. I think you need some rest.
Well, that is a spot-on diagnosis. How did you know that I didn't have a single day off for a month? Because of the pitch-black circles under my eyes? Or is it the general sense of despair I'm exuding?
A month without a day off?
Damn, I was hoping you gave me something else I could counteract his sarcasm with.
Off? Sheesh. What's O'Connell saying?
You're not getting leave right after Harry quit? I don't care if your mommy is waiting for you on Osiris. And yes, I am an asshole.
Typical O'Connell.
Yeah.
Somebody has to remind him we're humans, not robots. You know what? Maybe
don't know.
I will.
That depends, man. That depends, man. Are you just following what everyone else says? Like, you know, all the other 75% of people that are playing on Steam? Or are you making your own deduction and realizing that you really should wait and buy it on the Epic Game Store to support the Unreal Engine? Prove you're a robot without proving you're a robot. You work with a Harry? You worked with a Harry? When are you going to take some time off? That doesn't... Hold up.
You worked with a guy named Harry?
Okay, so that needed to be... You needed to fix that. You worked with a Harry? There was no guy there. Which is what prompted me to actually click on it.
Yeah, I know. Hilarious. Larry and Harry. I really hope the next person I work with won't have a name with Re.
Okay, now that makes sense why you worded it. You worked with a Harry, because now I understand that you're making a joke about Larry Harry.
Yeah.
Wait, did that cut him off and, like, skip that? Or with Re in it? When are you going to take some time off?
With the brass acting like that, a month without leave can easily turn into a year. When's your next vacation?
Any vacation is postponed indefinitely until they find a replacement to take on some of the work. But O'Connell says that could take months.
Well, in theory, I tried to make a comment and talk about how this shit's posting a beep, and you're like, don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, I just was trying to help you out. But apparently you don't want me to take over for Harry.
Not many people would want to serve out on some remote station when they can work in a major port, like Osiris.
I need to get a new chair.
Hang in there, Larry. We really need you.
I'm trying, but it's one or the other in any case. Either I work myself to death, or I manage to make it to my next vacation. And honestly, I'm at the point where I don't care which comes first.
Just turn the alert system up to where when it does go off, you can hear it and wake the fuck up because you actually are micro-napping and it's not your fault. Why so glum?
Why so glum?
It all started in childhood. My father was a tyrant, and my mother was a typical unfulfilled housewife.
Sounds like a setup for a sitcom. Wait, are you serious? Sorry, go on.
When my father died, Mom directed all her resentment on me. Now she's upset I don't visit her on Osiris. I wanted to send her a gift, but Luciana charges an arm and a leg for delivery. That's why I'm so glum, as you put it.
Sorry, I told somebody I'd help if they needed it on Blue Protocol, so I might switch to that. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they'll have enough DPS to not need me. What's with the gift?
What gift will you give her?
Ah, well, it's just a painting. She loves homemade things.
When did you have time to paint something?
I painted during what others call free time, but I just call it the brief moment between work and sleep. Each day, bit by bit, and voila. It's not that big a deal.
Actually, it is. Taking consideration you have very little time to do something and you still manage to finish it. It's actually quite impressive, especially if you finished it before her birthday.
We can deliver the gift to your mom. Yeah, I want something good to happen today. I'm tired of all this despair.
Oh, that would be really nice. My mom is sick of waiting, and she's pissed. Won't answer any of my calls. Just snaps at me if we do talk. Okay, deal. I'll ask someone to bring my painting by the ship while you speak to O'Connell. And please, don't open the package. Thank you.
See you, Larry.
See you later.
All right.
Sorry, I don't have energy to think of any topic to talk about. You go.
See you, Larry.
See you later. Sorry, I don't have energy to think.
See you, Larry.
See you later.
Wait, there was...
Not our finest moment.
I was assuming it had to do with both of us being there, but apparently not. The mess hall.
You just got back, darlings. I'm sorry, but dinner's not ready yet.
Ooh, Shimizu. Smells so good.
Of course, I
She
know my
shoved me out
stuff.
of the way.
I'm starting to suspect you only come back to the station for my cooking.
Was it? Nothing more? Yeah, it's a tease. That was a tease of lore. Interaction. Interaction is what makes a video game good. This is what I'm talking about. Get out of my way. Hey. Oh man, shouldn't this be a co-op game?
So this is the woman you won't shut up about? Nah, I still think Shimizu is hotter.
You're just jealous. She's a 10, and you know it.
Who ordered this visor? Rossi. Oh, you're back already? Wait, so you flew in on that? I just got back from Europa, updated my range of products, and bought all the orders from my last visit. For example, your boss O'Connell ordered some warm socks and 5 packs of Elm set. Finding the socks was the hardest part. Can you imagine? Zafar Hijazi bought flashlights for the whole crew, and they're better than the company ones. Absolutely nothing for himself. What a man.
Show me what you got. Why gossip about customers? Still on the station. You need to go. How'd you end up here? I'm Batman. Let's see. What are they saying on Europe about Europe?
What's new on the station?
Well, everyone's spreading different theories about what happened to the Canterbury. Either the Martians blew it up or someone else.
The guys here get bored when they're not on a mission.
Okay, let me think of something else. Oh. Better stay away from your boss. He's been beside himself ever since comms from Captain Burrows went dark.
That's exactly why we need to talk to O'Connell.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can tell me.
Nope.
Oh, I see. On second thought, looks like you have some bad news. And I only like the good kind.
Since we're gossiping anyway, tell me, what's the word on us? I know people always like to badmouth the new guys.
Of course they do. It's hilarious. Burrows gave your fire team the best call sign. The guy's got quite an imagination.
Believe it or not, it's not even because we're twins. All new teams were given call signs based on constellations. We drew Gemini at random. Prisha and her team ended up with Virgo, and they're not too keen on it.
I gotta update my file on you. Okay, here's another one. They say you drink your tea with juice. That is the one for high G burns?
And you say it about all Beltalowda. You should know.
Okay, another rumor. You grew up in the OPA and took down your first pirate ship at the age of 13.
Oh, that one's good. Pity it's not true.
But the pirates had hijacked a cargo of exotic chickens. So you had to carry them around and sleep in the same cabin with them for a month.
Well, that's still good. At least we didn't leave the poor chickens to die in an abandoned pirate ship. What are they saying here about the situation on Eros?
According to the news, Eros is under quarantine. I don't believe it. I can smell lies even from the screen.
Smell lies? What, like a psychic or something?
Yeah, it's like smelling the sweat from a tryhard that lies about it. With Easy
like
and
a
GG.
businesswoman. If I couldn't tell when I was being lied to, I wouldn't be successful.
I always wanted to ask how you ended up here. Why is O'Connell working with a traveling vendor?
Yeah, working. Yet he still won't let me further than the central hall. Your O'Connell loves people, but not nearly as much as his rules. Well, at least my visits are always such a hit. You mercenaries sit at the station for hours, and the staff almost lives here. Everyone wants to buy all sorts of nice little things from the outer and inner planets. That's why I'm allowed in here. By the way, would you be interested to know how I was born?
I didn't see that coming. What, is it an interesting story?
I think it explains my wanderlust. My mother gave birth to me on a transport ship, somewhere between Ceres and Earth. That's why I can't stay put in one place for too long. Simple as that.
I mean, think about it logically. If you weren't born on Earth, and then you came down to Earth and constantly had to deal with it fucking spinning, would that affect you? Would it be like you were constantly drunk and the world was spinning? Because I feel that's what's actually happening when you're drunk and you start stumbling. Your equilibrium gets fucking off-put by becoming overly sensitive to the Earth's fucking rotation. And it causes you to lose your balance.
What's the point in gossiping about customers? Aren't you afraid of backlash if the whole station knows what they ordered?
Orders what? Socks and flashlights? That's not even gossip. That's just ordinary small talk.
Small talk is.
Real secrets are safe with me. Otherwise, no one would want to work with me, right? So don't worry and quit it with the lecturing. I know my stuff.
I want to know some real secrets. Curious.
It's interesting to hear who's buying what, of course, but I want to know some real secrets.
Yeah, right. Real secrets are safe with me. Rings any bells?
Ah, come on. You know so much, it must be impossible to keep it all to yourself.
Fine. The most intriguing story is about you, my dears. They say you're criminals hiding away here as mercenaries.
Oh, man.
So you're telling me gossip is lies? I disagree. Gossip is not lies. Gossip is opinion.
Undercover agents would have been way cooler.
I'm just repeating what I've heard. Why so serious? So, is it true?
No, it's not.
It might be.
Got any more gossip? Something a bit more compelling. Everyone has some kind of story that helps us understand them.
Well, you're right about that. Information can be very useful. I heard Safar has a tragic past.
The only thing that matters is if they explicitly say, keep this a secret and don't tell anyone else. That's the only one that really technically matters. They don't explicitly tell you to keep it to yourself, and technically, it doesn't matter.
That's why he's so pensive all the time. Someone died or something. But I don't know the details. He doesn't confide in me. I bet it's a dark and sad story, though. And I don't like those.
It's like I've always known. But I wouldn't press Safar. No point in opening old wounds. Got anything juicier? Someone's gotta have a big skeleton in their closet. You probably found out something that kept you up at night. What was it?
Okay, get ready. This news will blow your mind, because you work kind of closely with Captain Burrows. I've heard Burrows has connections at the very top of the MCR. Either he was born with a silver spoon, or has a leg in with some politicians.
He definitely has an in with a few politicians. Well, had. But I don't believe the silver spoon backstory.
I never lie. The captain helped one poor guy with some hard-to-get documents. This guy told me himself, on Mars. Can you imagine? Believe it or not, choose for yourself.
Because at that point, it's not outing your source, right? As long as you never out your source, then it doesn't really matter.
I won't tell you anymore.
Show me what you've got.
Of course.
I could use a flashlight up here. $270 for wires? Good God. But I just picked up something, didn't I? I can't sell my wires back to you so I can buy this shotgun? We are going up there. Actually,
Have they replaced the pipeline in the residential sector yet? What about the pressure adjustments?
They're on stage 2, man.
Due to finish today. No worries. There won't be any more delays.
Can I buy the shotgun now? There.
I've always liked the view from here. On the axis at the second semi-ring. But man, is it better with our girl out there.
Okay, the power grid's fine. I'll adjust the clamps now.
Oh, careful.
I mean, why does shit fall over so easily? Can't you just make it roll and then once it hit the stairs, then it would fall because of axis tilt or something? Me pushing this around, it's not the same thing as it falling over in hindsight. Where the fuck did it go? I don't know. Probably. Targeting. Interesting. What? Okay. I don't know. I'm not understanding. I see. Now I understand. I was hitting. I was switching between these two. All right. I wasn't hitting the right button. It's the other one. Wait, what was that? Oh, you can switch it? Interesting. Something I can mantle.
Hey, did you fix the door?
Yeah, I had to fiddle with the fuse box a bit.
Thanks. Have you seen Safar? It's his job after all.
Oops. He's busy with our ship at the moment.
You're the one who fixed it for him. Well, that's ironic. Okay, thanks again.
Dude was trapped in here, man. Jeez. I mean, like, I mean, you didn't even get to use this, so what the fuck is the point of this item to begin with? If you're just going to immediately switch this. I mean, if people just kept running and went to the objective, they would miss it, so I kind of understand it, but I don't know. It seems strange to me. Shit. That's what I'm talking about. I was trying to crouch to see if I can access that thing down there. Apparently not. Safety first. Check magnetic boosts before beginning. Eva? Let me out.
I'm telling you, Larry's a cool guy. He just kills it with his jokes.
What are you talking about? I've never seen someone so miserable. Is there another Larry I don't know about?
Larry from Dispatch, yeah.
Larry jokes. Now that is a good one.
Nice, sarcastic. I wouldn't put it past him. Harry. Damiba? Good God. Status: former dispatch technician. Contract terminated at his own request. Origin: Mars. Marks: verbal warning for using inappropriate tone with management. Internal investigation. Repeatedly concealed tardiness of his partner, L. Ludquist. I guess that's Larry. Refused to accept bonus in protest against the increased workload in dispatch department. Note: did return all company property. Returned work equipment. Kept the mug. Advise against signing of future contracts. Do not rehire. Terminate it with the caveat of not to rehire. Good God. Just because he took a mug? Man, was it a gold mug? It's interesting how she... That is her, right? How she stands in idle poses. Control room. You won't let me into the control room. Alright. My bad. I was just curious if there was like a window or something in there. Let's get this ass ripping. Let's go.
Sir.
Here you are. I want an explanation. Where's Vic? Where's the Piranha?
Does that look like Captain America to anybody else?
Nah. What's with the new ship in my damn stable?
The Piranha was destroyed, sir. Captain Barros and the whole crew died in the line of duty.
What? What the? Who were you up against?
They didn't exactly introduce themselves. The station was infected by an unknown bioweapon, presumably. It was a planned op. A bunch of guys with guns assured word didn't get out. They're the ones who destroyed the Piranha. The ship we escaped on belonged to them. We fought our way on board.
Wait. The news is saying there was an outbreak. HQ reported that even our UN contact doesn't know the whole story. Not a word about shots fired. Or ships being destroyed. Only the quarantine.
Quarantine, yes. But this disease, or whatever it is, was brought there on purpose. We barely escaped.
An outbreak? The Piranha? This is insane.
I always demand a ... response because I don't want to respond back with either of these. Either of these are passive aggressive ass-hatted fucking shit. And I'm talking to my commanding officer. Where's my ... response at? Oh wait, sorry. You have to believe us, but it doesn't matter. This is. I misread that. I thought this was you don't have to believe us, which was the same shit as this one. But still, it's to the point where he does not have to do shit. And this is like desperation or fucking what is that called? It's like when you get broken up with somebody, or it's like when you break up a relationship with somebody and it's begging. This is basically begging. Right? And this is just some condescending asshole shit. So I'm going to have to say this one.
Sir, you have to believe us. We're talking about the genocide of an entire station, the massacre of our whole squad.
I want to. But this ain't exactly easy to digest. If you're telling the truth, then...
Sir, please listen. An unknown ship is approaching the station. Appeared right in front of us. The radars were clear.
Are you sure the radars were clear? I saw a red dot earlier.
Two criminals have taken refuge at your feet. I'm going to arrest them for stealing Protogen Company property.
Protogen? I remember that brute. We saw her on Eros.
Sir, somebody hacked our comms. And not only that, the docking system isn't responding. They want to... We are preparing to board the station and commandeer our ship. Do not interfere.
We took their ship, but it was our only chance at survival.
And now they're here, boarding my station, handing out orders. Protogen will easily turn this into a massacre if they want.
That's a bit much for a dramatic pause. You probably need to pop this up sooner. That was too long. They want to kill us. Please just help us get away from them.
Please just help us get away from them. Let us go back to the ship, and I promise we'll take off.
You've got Protogen on your tail. A company with infinitely more resources than Pinkwater. Even if you do escape...
That Protogen brute murdered our guys and blew up the Piranha. Imagine what she'll do to you if you give us up.
I'm responsible not only for you, but for the whole station full of other people. What do you want from me?
Cover us. Order everyone to take arms.
Human lives are more important. We can find a way out ourselves. Just tell the others not to sell us out.
I'm giving the order to lay down arms.
Wait. That was delayed. He said, I've given the order from what I heard, not I'm giving the order, but I could be wrong. Maybe I just misheard that. It was slightly delayed and it probably needs to be more properly set up.
Tell our guests to come directly to me. You two, don't get caught. Get in the vent. Your only chance is to make it to the ship.
God, he's so short, man.
Good luck.
Good luck to you too, sir.
Combat basics. To take cover, aim at the cover you wish to use. Press X, use L to aim, and then press R to fire. To change your weapon, use this pad, which is fine. Does mean that this is more aptly designed for mouse and keyboard. A Pro controller with at least 4 buttons means that you need one with at least 4 buttons. Like a Wolverine Pro or something like that, possibly a Scuff, as long as it has 2 buttons on the back. I still prefer the Vantage. It has 6 buttons. That's why the Wolverine Pro is probably the best controller. It just doesn't have haptic triggers for PlayStation, so it's kind of not the ideal approach for PlayStation design, but it is ideal for macro ability. So either you lose 2 buttons with Scuff controller. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. They might have come out with a new one. You either lose 2 buttons with the Scuff controller and keep your haptic triggers, or you use the Wolverine version 2 Pro and lose the haptic triggers but get 6 macro buttons. Which means you can heal yourself, change weapons, shit like that. So activate your gadgets with L1, R1, or L plus R1. L1 plus R1. Regenerate health and armor. Avoid taking damage for a period of time. Use cover to shield yourself from attacks. Enemy armor repair and health regeneration. Use, see, like I said, you need healing and swapping weapons technically. To direct your companion towards a target, aim at it, press triangle while the engage order is active. Your companion will increase damage and see, technically, I would swap those. I would still have swapping weapons on triangle, and then I would have commanding them with the left on the D-pad, because I'm not going to be aiming when I'm telling them to do something. Though technically I should be able to do it while telling them to do something, but it would make more sense that the triangle button is more for me to mess with my own shit. But like I said, most people on PlayStation aren't using a Pro controller, and they're causing the evolution of macro ability and key binding to stagnate because they feel that they should not have to upgrade to hardware. And I'm not saying they should have to upgrade to hardware, but you should be able to make it to where those macro buttons are standalone and can be remapped to anything, not just square, triangle, circle, X, left or right. In my opinion, that's on a console level. That's not on a. I mean, because if you think about it logically, when you plug in a controller to PlayStation, I mean, that technically those buttons should be standalone. Like if I plugged in just a random generic controller, I mean, it'd be no different than mouse and keyboard, where it's the inputs where triangle swaps weapons, or left, was it executes, engages something, right? And that's what it's called on computer. Engage, fire, interaction. Or you can keybind it to triangle, circle, square, or you can keybind it to I, L, Y, K. It doesn't fucking matter. The point is that you're keybinding to an action, not a button, and that is what's stifling controller support, in my opinion, on consoles in general, or on PC. When you try to use a controller on PC, it's stifling controller support. But I also understand that controller support includes a mouse and keyboard as well. A remote control, a keyboard and a mouse is a controller. In any case. Okay, hold up. To direct your companion towards the target, aim at it, press triangle. When performing an exploit, hover over the companion's portrait icon and press triangle. They will make use of their surroundings. Perform an exploit, hover over the companion's portrait icon and press triangle. They will make use of their surroundings to damage the target's opponent. Not understanding what that is. That's confusing to me. While tactical pause mode up is active, you can issue commands to your companion and choose targets from your gadgets at your own pace. While pause, use left and right to switch between your squad members. Aim at the target, pause the chosen ability, and choose the chosen ability button. Press up to activate pause. Yes, I understand what that is. Damn!
Jemmy? Why the fuck are you crawling through the vents?
Long story. Anyone in this wing?
Yeah, in Section B.
O'Connor speaking. Pinkwater soldiers, stand down. Do not attempt to resist Prodigy. That is an order.
Closing in!
Press the enemy!
Why can I
Quicker
not
than a
press
slingshotter.
L3 and swap shoulders? Like, that is a severe fucking problem in every single shooting game. You should need the ability to swap what shoulder you are aiming over is imperative in a third-person shooter. Imperative. I should be able to press L3 and swap from my left shoulder to my right shoulder.
It's over. For now.
See, and in my opinion, that's ass backwards. I would actually press the circle button to sprint, and the X button to take cover. Is what I would actually make. Do I have this backwards? Maybe my key bindings are wrong. Yeah, I have it backwards. Because the reason why I have one of my paddles set to L3 is because I don't want to intentionally create extra stick drift by jamming in the actuator while I'm tilting the stick. So, technically the cover should be on the left back paddle, which would be X, and the right is circle, right? So technically the sprint and the dodge should be on the same button, right? And it's not. So like, I have a problem with how you have this key bound to begin with. Now, this is standard division type gameplay right here. I mean, at this point, why do you have it on square? What is the X button? This is really messing with my brain real quick. See, you have... Okay. Remove sprint. Okay, hold up. Swap camera side on L3. Take sprint. Put sprint on dash to where you hold down the button and you sprint. Right? You hold down the button, you sprint. If you tap it, you dash or some shit like that. So it's like you have on a controller, you're gonna have to utilize the tap, the double tap, and the hold. And if you do that right, then technically you can tap to crouch, you can double tap to dodge, and you can hold to sprint. Or you could just take the sprint to the dead zone, you know, increasing of how this works to begin with, where it ramps up. So you start sprinting the farther you tilt the stick. I mean, like, there's so many things that you can do, and the fact that sprint is still set on a button on a controller is disgusting. I'm not on mouse and keyboard. I do not need to hold or tap a shift button to fucking sprint. I don't have a control or a C or a space button that I can actually use to crouch while holding that button. I have way less macroable buttons for you to allow for sprint to be like that. If that makes any sense. Sorry, the best controller schematic I've ever seen is Warframe. It's the best one. One button does multiple things. Destiny 2 is close to where you can swap weapons by tapping and holding or whatever. That's another way of doing it. This dash shit and the sprint, and then I can't swap what shoulder I'm looking over. I don't know, man. Well, this person is ambidextrous, you know, or this person is, you know, right-handed, so I'll never be able to switch to my left-handed side. I hate to break it to you. Even if I'm right-handed and I want to peek around a corner, I'm going to swap sides. Just my opinion. I might be less accurate. This is true. But I'll be able to see and react accordingly. I don't know. So the biggest problem is not being able to custom key binding, not the fact that sprint is where it's at. In theory. Or hindsight, or whatever the fuck word you want to use to describe that shit.
Gemini, do you copy? Over.
We copy. Zafar, our own personal search and rescue.
I'm on the Mott's Bridge, looking at the tactical map and the feeds from your suits. I've got company, and locked doors aren't going to keep them out for long.
So they'll snatch up our ship if we don't hurry.
I'll guide you through. Follow my thread.
We're going to disobey O'Connell's order.
You're going to disobey O'Connell's order?
I'm not about to let my friends die because of some order. Enough people died because I did nothing.
We're ready. Take us to the ship.
Advance to the door. There'll be a technical corridor behind it. I'll plan you an evac route. Stand by.
Loud and clear. We could use some ship support. Didn't work. Protogen is a private security company just like Pinkwater. What the hell are they doing? Let's ask them over dinner sometime. Hostiles are likely close. Left side has a good vantage point. Perfect for an ambush.
So I could go through this door.
Need assistance, now! Time to end this!
Right?
Good one! Slicker than a slingshotter!
Assistance! Now! Focus fire on my mark.
Aim assist, man. I cannot stand aim assist. Turn that shit off.
Zafar, where to next?
You need to throw them off your scent. Get out onto the station's hull.
There's an airlock right next to you.
Roger that. Jay, let's get out there.
Sometimes that 3 is too fast for sprinting. Check your magnets on your boots, man. Why is this so grainy? It's called radioactive interference. You have no membrane, so the particles are fucking...
You know, it used to be that the infinity of space...
Look at it like radioactive activity is going all around you, and the space is keeping your ass alive with lead lining.
Terrified me.
And when did it stop?
When I realized that actually, it's freedom.
Gave me chills of vertigo.
I blocked the airlock. This should stop them.
We're on different sides of the semi-ring, but there's a protogen ship docked near me. They're looking for you. It's too dangerous to go straight through. Do you see an elevator in front of you? It'll take you to the station's access. Then, return to the semi-ring. You can reach the Mott while bypassing enemy forces.
How would you calibrate that, though? I mean, it makes sense to have magnets on your boots, but they would have to be strong enough. You would have to be very fucking careful how hard you pushed off, because you would go too far and not reconnect. But it couldn't be strong enough to where your foot wouldn't reconnect to the ground. Right? So, I mean, the magnet would have to be strong enough to push off of it, but also not weak enough to where when you push too far the fuck off of it, it would cause you to fly away from the space station. Something like that.
I just love rotating stations. Planets, satellites, asteroids. They're all just rotating around in space. Even the universe itself. So, I guess running in circles isn't useless after all.
It's a very interesting movement dynamic you have here. I mean, I give it credit a lot of, because normally with how games are doing third-person movement, you're gliding around in a frictionless environment. So it looks like you've basically just taken how the character moves through the environment. You've erected collision boxes that you don't fall through or run through, and then you just pasted a background over it, so it looks like you're just gliding through it, right? Not that you're actually like this, where you're trudging through a friction environment where you're actually connected to the environment. So this is actually better than most third-person movement I've seen nowadays. There's supposed to be some type of resistance. There's supposed to be some type of pushback. I mean, that's why I like the Division so much. There's supposed to be some type of sluggishness to it. Not so much that it becomes super problematic, but enough for you to feel the tension of moving through the environment, not just gliding across a frictionless screen, basically. So this is actually a very interesting concept, I think. Authorized, personally. We are authorized.
Eros, the Piranha, and now this?
Fuck
We
you.
got ourselves into something extremely dangerous. We're
Just
like
love it.
slingshotters doing some crazy maneuver. But someone messed up all our calculations and is just waiting for us to burn up.
Sorry for interrupting. Almost done reconfiguring the transponder codes. That means no more Mutt. But the ship needs a new name to complete the process.
Not the best timing. But my sister and I will think of something. What the? We're sitting ducks out here! There's our exit! Go! I've got your 6.
Target in sight.
Well, I suppose if you could adjust, like if you could adjust the magnetism, then it wouldn't be so big of a deal, because then you could make it less or more when you needed it, to where it doesn't affect you if you're just moving around. But if you jump too high, you can turn the shit up to where it like magnetizes super more hardcore or some shit like that.
Good one. Already in my sight.
I thought I could do that, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna let me. I completely forgot I could do that too. What?
1, 2, advance! Let's see how much
I was like
momentum
playing
we
Mario
have.
Galaxy all over again, man.
Eagle eye. Sights on that one.
Yeah, targeting sight. That one waiting.
We'll make them so compromised.
Ah, she's fucking.
You're already in my sight. Losing our advantage.
Okay, I'm a little confused. What kicked me out of?
You're already in my sight.
We can't hold this position.
Fuck if I know, man. Man, it's just fucking rough.
Locking on target. We can't hold this position.
That's fine. Take a break real quick. That's pretty rough. But it's more of fumbling through controllers than it's actually. It's more of fumbling through. Yeah, it's more in fumbling over what buttons do what than it is actually it being difficult. I'll be right back though. I need a small break. I actually might stop here for now and pick this back up later. All right, so let's call this here for now. I'll pick it back up later after I go help somebody do a raid real quick, and we'll go from there. Till then.